Hello, everyone, and welcome to another podcast about the home health leadership community. So, you got a leadership position. Somebody thought that you were the right one to put in a position of management or leadership. Now what?
Well, first of all, how hard can it be? You manage a busy schedule, you manage your patients, you're great at communicating with your patients, and you know home health, you've been doing it forever. And then you get in the office, and there's all these processes, and there's workflows, and then there's more workflows, and then, oh, there's another workflow. And all of a sudden, I think you find yourself learning processes and forgetting about the people side of it. So one of the things that's really important in leadership when we first start is understanding that you were a great clinician, and why you were a great clinician was probably because you were really good with people. And understanding how to take those skills from leading people or working with people, working with your patients, to leading people. How do you make that jump? And I think that's one of the things we miss when we put people in leadership role, because we teach them all about the processes and not about taking what you already know and have great skills in and making it apply to leading. One of the things we're going to talk about in this leadership community.
Another thing we need to talk about is how well do you know yourself? How well do you know your own style? And oftentimes we work in a job and we have to go away from our personal style in order to fit the demands of that job. And one of the things I learned from Tonya is that until you have to know thyself, you have to know where you sit the best and what your personal style is. So, some of the things that we're going to talk about in this community is how to assess your own skill set and how to best use that skill set to lead people. Because one of the things about leading people is, and what you discover as soon as you move into that leadership position, is that your relationship with the people in the office changes overnight. You are now a boss. And when you turn from being a colleague to a boss, that is often a challenge that's often your first challenge, right, Tonya, that you have to face when you move into a
Mhm.
leadership position. So can you talk a little bit about how we'll help facilitate that self-knowledge in our community?
Yeah, absolutely. It's sure. And so thank you for bringing that up, because it is my favorite topic. We spend so much time trying to lead others. And I love education sessions that are out there that say, get the team moving in the right direction, guide the team to this, get the team to do that. That's all great, but you can't do any of that until you get your own house in order. So, a lot of what we are going to do in this leadership community is talk about understanding your skill sets and understanding how you communicate with people. I'm just going to give you a quick example. I am not a detail person, I don't like details. And I know that about myself because I've done assessments to understand that. But a lot of what I do is detail oriented. I do research that's very detail oriented. So I know that when I'm going to do something that is outside of my strength as a leader and as an individual, I need to do those things when I have the most energy. So when do I work on research? First thing in the morning when I have the most energy. I try to sit down and work on research in the evening, forget it. I just can't focus on it. So those little things that we can talk about and work through and tease out will just make you a stronger, more efficient leader. And then once you start to know yourself, you can apply that same knowledge to other people. So just such easy things that we just don't think about.
And it's a challenge, Tanya, when you have to eat your frogs, quote unquote. There's a concept, and I forget the book. You probably remember it. And the concept, the quote was, "Eat your frogs early." And eat your
Yes.
frogs first thing in the morning if you're a morning person. If you're an evening person, eat your frogs in the evening. But setting up that recipe or that menu, if you will, of being at your best and understanding who you are and how your style fits that group of people that you're trying to lead and what your mission is. So we'll talk a little bit in our next podcast about how important the plan is. And Tanya's kind of smile about this because I am, my personality style, I am the worst planner ever. But you have to surround yourself with some folks that will help you where you have some deficits. So stay tuned for our next podcast, and please take a moment and hit the button and join the leadership community. The first 60 days are free. After that, you can choose to stay or you can choose to go, but it's worth checking out and worth taking the opportunity to invest in yourself and invest in your skill set to become a better leader. Tanya, do you have any closing thoughts?
Just think about every day being more efficient and more effective and gaining the skills that we're going to share will help you do that. And I know everybody out there wants to be more efficient and more effective.
Thanks, Tonya. See you next time.